Alrighty, everyone. So welcome back. So now we are in the guided practice section of our lesson for today. At this point, you should have watched the refresher on what cubes is and how we use cubes to solve word problems. You should have practiced using cubes in the do now section and should have chosen an answer for your do now. For our guided practice, we're going to do a problem together. And then after the fact, you're going to try a problem on your own where you're going to get to use cubes and answer some questions. All right. First things first, I want you to take a second and pull the piece of paper that you should have next to you and your pencil. And I want you to write down this problem. Okay. Take about a minute or two to write down the problem and draw the diagram. Pause the video. Once you are ready to move on, come back to me. So this is the problem. I'll read it for you. Areli folded a square piece of paper vertically to make two equal rectangles like shown below. Use the information in the image below to find the area and the perimeter of the entire square. And you'll notice this is the model that we're using. So I'm gonna leave it right here. Maybe you can pause it and you can write down the problem. Pause right now. Awesome, guys. So at this point, I hope that you were able to write down this problem. If for some reason you couldn't, just follow along with us, all right? Cool. I'm gonna use the strategy that we know and use as cubes. And I'm going to use cubes to answer this problem. So C obviously stands for circling important numbers. Well, if I look at my word problem, and you can look at yours right now on your paper, I notice that there aren't exactly any numbers in the word problem, but there are words. So I'm going to circle. She divided it vertically into two equal parts. So I'm going to circle 2. Right here. Nothing in the word problem, but I noticed down here in my problem, in my model, she has 6.5. So I'm going to circle that too, okay? Because that's important. Awesome. I'm going to move on, and for you, I'm going to underline the question that I have to answer. In this case is use the information in the image below to find the area in the perimeter of the entire square. So you should have your question underlined on your paper as well. We're going to cross those out. Now we're at B. B stands for boxing keywords. Well, some keywords that stand out to me would be folded, right? So she folded this piece of paper. There are two equal rectangles. I like that, equal rectangles, because that tells me that they are similar. They are the same. And I notice that I need to find the area and I need to find the perimeter. So that is also going to get boxed. And let me actually get a different color so that can stand out for us. So I got folded, I got equal rectangles, I got area, and I got perimeter. So if you want to take a second to do that on your paper, fold it, equal rectangles, area, perimeter, and if you notice something else, drop a comment, let me know. Awesome, let's move on. So we've boxed. Now let's evaluate, okay? So let's figure out what we need to do. Well, I know, right, there's a square, and this is telling me that this side, this rectangle here, the top is 6.5. Well, according to the rules of a rectangle, I know that opposite sides are equal length. So if the top is 6.5 inches, that means that the bottom right here should also be 6.5. So I'm going to go ahead and write that down. Okay? Beautiful. The top is 6.5, so the bottom is 6.5. Well, like the problem said, it was split evenly down the middle. So that means that both of these sides here are also equal to one another. So If this side here is 6.5, that must mean that the side right next to it is also 6.5. And at the bottom here, opposite sides, it is also 6.5. Look at that. So somehow, with the information that they gave us, I've been able to find the missing pieces, right? I know that all of these little sections are now 6.5. Now, I'm going to take it a step further, and I'm going to combine those two side lengths. The 6.5 and the 6.5 on top, and the 6.5 and the 6.5 at the bottom. I can either add them like so, or I can multiply 6.5 times 2. It'll give me the same answer because it's just repeated addition, right? I'm going to go ahead and do the addition problem though. 5 plus 5 is 10, carry the 1. 6 plus 6 is 12, plus 1 is 13. Don't forget to bring down your decimal. So after adding, I just found out that the top section here measures 13 inches. And the bottom section here is also 13 inches. Got it? 13 on top, 13 at the bottom. So I have actually just discovered and found out the measurements for the top length and the bottom length of this square. We can actually now find the area and the perimeter of the whole thing together. Remember that all sides of a square are all correct. They're all equal. So if the top is 13, the bottom is 13, that means the side here is 13, and the other side here is also 13. So 13 on top, 13 at the bottom, 13 on either side. Now we can find the area and perimeter. Well, who can remember what is the formula for area? Very good job back there. The formula for area is length times width, and I just wrote that down here on the side. My length and width, they're all going to be the same, so for area, I'm going to simply write 13 times 13. And I'm going to give you a second to pause this video right here and figure out what is 13 times 13. Take a second, pause, and come back. Alrighty, now that we are back, you should have figured out that 13 times 13 is actually 169. Alrighty? And when we do area, we have to make sure we label it correctly. We have 169 inches, and we put squared, the number 2 on the top right here. We just found out our area. Let's try to find our perimeter now. For perimeter, well, our formula for perimeter is what? Very good job in the back again. Perimeter now is going to be, this time, length plus width plus length plus width, right? We have 4 measurements, and we're going to add all of them. According to our model, it's 13, so they're all the same again. So that's 13 plus 13 plus 13 plus 13. Once again, I'm going to give you an opportunity to go and figure out what that is on your own. Add all the 13s. Alrighty, so hopefully you are back now and you are able to tell me that the perimeter of this square is 52 inches. All right, like that. We don't need to put squared or cubed because it's just perimeter. We're just adding all the sides. All right, beautiful job. And after evaluating, all you gotta do is just give me your sentence. A complete sentence for this problem that we just did could sound like the area for this square is 169 inches square, and the perimeter for the entire square is 52 inches. Beautiful. Now, if you need a refresher on this again, please make sure to just rewatch this whole video. Make sure you're using your cubes strategy and just simply complete the rest of this lesson. All right? If you have questions or concerns, please leave a comment. You got it. Bye.